Hello and welcome to Gravitas Plus. I'm Palki Sharma. Very few things in this world are as controversial as plastic surgery. It's the kind of surgery that alters the way you look. Recently, an Indian actor tried changing the way she looked. She died. The actor was all of 21. Her parents had no clue she was going in for such a surgery. What did she want? To look thinner. The actor's death made headlines. People asked, what was the need of taking that risk? In fact, this comes up every time we talk about plastic surgery. What is the need? What really changes by changing the way you look? Liposuction is the most frequently performed plastic surgery. It changes the shape of your body by removing excess fat. Liposuction makes up 19.9% of the total aesthetic surgeries performed globally. This is closely followed by breast augmentation. This surgery changes the shape or size of the breasts. The third most popular plastic surgery is eyelid reshaping. It's called blepharoplasty. Another popular surgery is abdominoplasty. It changes the way your abdomen looks. How? By removing excess skin from the abdomen area. Then comes rhinoplasty. This surgery changes the shape or size of your nose. And it's not just nose, breasts and abdomen. Plastic surgeries can completely transform you. Meet Rodrigo Alves. This is how he looked at 17. Rodrigo then decided he wanted to look like Ken. You know Barbie's friend Ken? 10 years and 12 plastic surgeries later, Rodrigo looked like this. He had changed his name to Human Ken Doll. He then went for a hair transplant, also removed some ribs to enhance his six-pack. After his 11th rhinoplasty, Rodrigo's nose began collapsing. Soon he decided he's had enough of Ken. Rodrigo now wanted to look like Barbie. This is how she looks today. The name's now Jessica. In 2021, Jessica declared she wanted to look like herself again. So she began sharing no makeup selfies. This is her some 75 plastic surgeries later. From this to this. Jessica insists she couldn't be happier with the way she looks. Now, this is an extreme case, but it still begs the basic question. Do plastic surgeries really make people happier? Some people do it just to fit in. South Korea is the plastic surgery capital of the world. In 2015, the number was 20 surgeries per 1,000 people. The most common surgery in South Korea is the eyelid surgery. You see, most Koreans have what's called a monolid, meaning they do not have an eyelid crease. And that's perfectly normal. It's like Asians having dark hair or people of color having broader frames. These are racial traits, and they're normal. If you ask me, they should be embraced. But the problem arises when the world begins idolizing Western features, when double lid becomes a sign of beauty and a monolid the opposite. Today, South Koreans are queuing outside clinics to meet Western beauty standards to fit in. At least 1 million surgeries are performed in South Korea every year. 1 in 3 women say they've gone under the knife. Some for eyelids, some for fat removal, breast augmentation, hair rejuvenation, facelifts, skin whitening, or restructuring the jawline. Now, on a side note, I can't help but ask, is K-beauty nothing but the magic of multiple cosmetic procedures? And here's the previously asked question, does changing the way you look really change anything? Actually, it does. Studies show that an attractive person is more likely to get hired, promoted. They're also more likely to get a better salary. It's unfortunate, but it's true. We live in an age where people swipe left and right on others' faces, depending on the way they look. It is not unusual to come across ads seeking quote-unquote aesthetically pleasing brides. Certain jobs expect you to look a certain way. Ask a receptionist or cabin crew. Today, the world champions diversity, celebrates inclusivity, but refuses to divert from the set definition of beauty. People who look unconventional are often bullied at school. Again, all of this is unfortunate but true. So if plastic surgery helps you regain your lost self-esteem, makes you feel more confident at work, helps you perform better, then maybe it is the option for you. But by changing the way you look, you will be feeding into this vicious cycle. Then there are instances where plastic surgery is medically recommended. Say you've burnt your face or had an accident that has left you with a scar. Then plastic surgery becomes a lifesaver. And not going for one is not really an option. And Iran has a special place in the plastic surgery story. The country expects its women to cover up, to wear a hijab. They're expected to cover everything else but their face. The nose is obviously a prominent part of it. So women go for numerous rhinoplasties to correct any perceived flaws in their nose. Plastic surgeons say the most common request is to reduce the size of the nose. Iran also has the world's highest rate of rhinoplasty. In 2011, for example, 180 people were getting a nose job per 100,000 population. The total number of surgeries per year, nearly 135,000. It is extremely common to find men and women in Tehran wearing post-surgery gauze, like this one. Western media calls Iran the nose job nation, but most rhinoplasties are actually performed in China. In fact, it is common to gift a teenager a plastic surgery package after their national college entrance exam. It's a reward. It also gives them time to recover before their classes commence. So that's China for you. If Iran's obsession is the nose, America's are breasts, from breast implants to fat transfer to increasing the size or changing the shape. Even back in 2014, 1 in every 26 American women had a breast implant. Currently, more than 300,000 augmentations are performed every year in America. Numbers from India are eye-opening too. Around 150,000 breast augmentations are performed in India every year. The most popular surgery in India, though, is liposuction. How much do these procedures cost? Depends on where you get them done. The US, for example, is among the most expensive countries for these procedures. A breast augmentation costs around $4,500. Rhinoplasty around $5,500, liposuction around $3,600. In India, a facelift costs anywhere between 1.5 to 2 lakhs, rhinoplasty 1 to 1.5 lakhs, liposuction between 50,000 to 2 lakh. Again, these are average costs. It is not uncommon today for people to save up for years to go under the knife or to travel to other countries for plastic surgery. These surgeries are comparatively cheaper in Turkey, Mexico, Thailand, Ukraine, and the Czech Republic. The plastic surgery market is worth over $46 billion today. By 2028, it is expected to cross $64 billion, and that's hardly surprising. Just look at China. The cosmetic surgery market there alone is worth over $27.3 billion. Some 20 years ago, it did not even exist. Now, should you put your money in this market? While plastic surgeries promise to change you, many actually end up damaging you. These procedures come with their own set of health risks. Almost 6% of breast augmentations result in hematoma. 2 to 4% breast surgeries lead to infection. Many also lead to nerve damage. You may lose your sense of smell as a result of botched up rhinoplasty. Tummy tucks often result in seroma. You may end up with scars, or worse, you may end up dead. The chances are 1 in 50,000. There's another problem with plastic surgery, and that's addiction. Do you recognize her? Courtney Cox played Monica in Friends. This is how she looked when the show began. This is how she looks now. Cox says she went too far with surgeries. You see, going under the knife becomes a habit. You start chasing perfection like a car chasing a mirage. There is also the problem of unlicensed practitioners. You see, plastic surgeries are complicated, even if it's something that's non-invasive, like skin whitening. It must be performed by a certified practitioner. But do we have enough of them? The Indian actor who died, she went to a hospital that did not even have an ICU. She did not get proper post-surgery care. Water had entered her lungs. Today, there aren't enough regulations to protect those going in for such surgeries, and life-threatening complications are a fact. So I'll end with the question I began with. Is it really worth it? What is the real need of a cosmetic surgery? Like I said, it may boost your self-esteem. But for how long? Also, by changing the way we look, by adhering to the way the society expects us to look, we end up normalizing the biases we fight. We end up promoting the standards that cause us suffering. Ultimately, of course, it's your choice, but do think about it.